Dr. Hector Ellis Canty is charged with wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm to Miss Deirdre Thompson, in that he performed an unnecessary caesarean operation on her when delivering her child. Miss Winifred Horton, Dr. Canty's assistant, is charged with aiding and abetting him.
I would like to start by asking you some questions about third-party adoptions, Dr. Canty. Now, with respect, my friend was rather discreet in this matter, but as he pointed out, you are almost uniquely placed to act as third party in these adoptions, and that you have almost everyday contact with women unable to bear children, some of whom would want to adopt. And you also had a steady, although perhaps not very numerous, supply of unwanted infants. Is that correct?
As far as the facts go, that is perfectly correct, yes. As far as your insinuations go, they are quite without foundation.
We are concerned only with the facts, Dr. Canty, I can assure you. Now, how many of these third-party adoptions would you say you had undertaken in the past 5 years?
I couldn't say.
Is it too large a number to guess at?
15, maybe?
Not more?
I doubt it.
Not 40 or more?
I doubt it.
Dr. Canty, please, would you have a look at these documents? That is a list of adoptions in which the Crown Solicitor suggests you have acted as third party during the last 5 years. Look at it, please, will you? Is that suggestion correct, or have some wrong names been included? I mean, are there any names there which shouldn't be there?
Not that I can see immediately.
There are over 40, Dr. Canty, not 15. I mean, have you any idea why women scatter the length and breadth of this country should travel miles to see you?
I have a reputation through my book.
A medical handbook, surely. Hardly general reading, would you agree?
Possibly.
Here is a Miss Stephanie Grattle who travelled from Liskeard in Cornwall to consult you. Do you remember Miss Grattle?
Yes.
Do you know why she travelled from Cornwall to consult you?
Well, she probably wanted the best treatment she could get.
Do you know what the going price of a baby is, Dr. Canty?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I will tell you. In a recently published book, the price of an infant is put at something around £4,000. Did you know that?
I know nothing of it.
Have you ever been offered money for an infant by any of your far-flung clients?
No, never.
You want this court to believe that you have been dealing in this valuable commodity for all these years, and that you were never aware that it had a value.
That is the case.
Well. Let us turn now to the matter of Miss Deirdre Thompson. Now, Miss Thompson came to you wanting a termination of her pregnancy, did she not?
Yes.
And it is clear that in Miss Thompson's case, she had not gone beyond 16 weeks.
Well, it's clear now. It certainly wasn't clear then.
Oh, come, Dr. Canty, this is your job. This is your expertise, surely one of the most elementary parts of it. Are you trying to tell this court that a man of your experience could be mistaken as something so elementary?
It is, in fact, extremely difficult to ascertain precisely how far advanced a pregnancy is by examination alone, if the mother is unsure of her dates.
The fact is that you knew perfectly well when you first saw her that her pregnancy could be terminated perfectly legitimately and with no danger to her at all.
I knew no such thing. I thought there was a very good chance that she would change her mind, that she'd want to keep her child, and time has proved me right.
Do you not mean that you wanted to talk her into it, in the hope that you might be able to arrange for its adoption? Were you not, as she has said, painting the situation as grimly as possible to her and presenting adoption arranged by you as her only recourse?
No.
So Miss Thompson was lying when she said this is what you did.
Yes, she was.
Can you think of any reason why she should make up such lies about you, if lies they were?
I was the closest observer of her rejection of her child. She is now seeking to blame me for that rejection.
Oh. Now I'd like now to turn to the events of the 31st of July of last year. That is the day you performed the operation on Miss Thompson. I mean, there is no question, is there, that it was you who performed the operation?
I performed the operation, yes.
Would you agree that this is a serious operation, causing a severe wound?
Oh, yes, indeed.
And would you agree that to inflict such a wound on a person without good reason would be to do that person a most serious and grievous harm?
I would most certainly agree, if it were done without good reason.
Now, we have heard that on the afternoon of the 31st of July last, on your second visit to Miss Thompson, you discovered that all was not well with her labor. That is correct, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Well, now, would you agree with Miss Horton, though You may not have perceived the necessity for this operation at that time. It was nonetheless evident if you had looked.
I was too occupied with Miss Bowden's behaviour.
You see, if I understand both your and Miss Horton's testimony correctly, there is this moment when there are all three of you in this room, yourself, Miss Horton, and Miss Bowden, with experience in obstetrics, totaling in excess of 100 years. And none of you realizes, or at least none of you does anything about the distress of this unborn infant, the imminent danger to its life.
But you need look no further than to Miss Bowden's behaviour for your answer to that question.
Are you saying that Miss Bowden was physically preventing you from attending to your patient?
Her behaviour was.
Oh, Dr. Canty, the wounded and dying have been tended to on battlefields, under fire, in bombed and burning cities. And are you trying to tell us here that you are unable to attend to this case because of the behavior of a single midwife?
I am telling you what my decision was at that time.
I suggest to you, Dr. Canty, that the reason you had to get rid of Miss Bowden was because you realized with understandable horror that she suspected that the labor was being interfered with in order that you might obtain that infant.
No.
Now, we have heard a lot about fetal distress. But wouldn't a contraction that could endanger the life of an unborn child also cause extreme pain to the mother? Yet Miss Thompson has told us that she suffered no such pain.
Birth is a painful business at the best of times. She may not have distinguished that pain.
I see. Now, when you returned to the delivery room after making sure Miss Bowden was off the premises, you immediately set things in train for this operation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, under these circumstances, wasn't Miss Horton the most obvious person to help in the operating theatre?
No.
She was to hand. You have told us that she helped you in the past. Why did she not help you in this emergency operation?
Because she had other work to attend to.
Oh, I see. Now, Dr. Canty, after this child was born, how long was it before Miss Thompson saw it?
As far as I know, she didn't see it until the third day after it was born.
But why didn't you or one of your staff take it to Miss Thompson as a matter of course?
Because she said that she did not wish to see it. We were afraid of alienating her from it.
Miss Thompson has told us that she was anxious to see the child.
Well, it's understandable that she should say that now.
I put it to you that Miss Thompson asked to see her child and that you refused her.
That is not the case.
I mean, did you not have a conversation with Miss Thompson immediately after the child was born, telling her that you had arranged for it to go to a good home where it would be well looked after?
No.
Did you not tell Miss Thompson that this couple had kindly agreed to pay for her treatment?
I said no such thing.
Did you tell her, as she has said you did, that she should think of the welfare of the child and not be so selfish?
No.
Is there any motive that you can attribute to Miss Thompson for telling to this court what you claim to be a pack of lies?
She is seeking to transfer her guilt for the rejection of her child onto myself and onto Miss Horton.
Have you seen Miss Thompson with her child since you allowed her to have it?
Yes, indeed I have. And I'm thankful to see that she is now entirely reconciled to it.
Miss Thompson didn't pay for her stay at your clinic, did she?
No.
That was because of the arrangement that the child should be adopted, wasn't it?
No, there was no such arrangement. She should have been sent an account like any other patient.
And what happened to the bill?
Well, my solicitor asked me about this 2 days ago. So far, we've been unable to trace it. Maybe the accounts clerk neglected to send one out. I really don't concern myself with that side of things.
I put it to you, Dr. Canty, that you had arranged for Miss Thompson's child to go for adoption for a handsome sum of money, and that you would hope by keeping her separated from it during those crucial days to prevent her natural affection for it from developing, and thereby ensure that within the next few weeks you would be able to get her consent for that adoption, to which you would never otherwise have agreed to.
No, I never had any such idea.